I spawned in as a little sapling tree, slowly falling to the ground. When I landed, I started exploring the forest nearby. Because I was so light, I could practically float when falling down, which was pretty cool. But then, out of nowhere, a lumberjack started destroying all the trees around him. He even got the big elder tree which was in this forest for hundreds of years. When I saw the scene play out, I froze in my tracks. I decided to blend into the forest as a normal tree so the lumberjack wouldn't see me, and it worked. Exploring the wreck left by the crazy lumberjack, I accidentally didn't notice him creep up behind me. We had a stare down, but then he charged at me. I quickly started to get away. The chase was on, but luckily I was a small sapling, so going under 1 block in height spaces was as easy as pie. But he was still on my tail. It was difficult to lose him. I stood in a random field again to try my luck and blend in. And it kind of worked, until it didn't, and I had to make a daring dash to get away from him again. I decided to cross a river. I was a fast swimmer because I was a small piece of wood which floated, but the lumberjack could swim as well. It was already getting late, but the chase was still on. But after a while, I finally lost him and could rest at peace. I blended myself in as a normal tree in the forest and waited over the night until next day. I would get my revenge. It was daytime when I finally escaped the lumberjack. I only had 2 hearts, so it was definitely not an option to keep fighting. I started hitting a tree to get myself a boat. I made the crafting table, placed it in the water and crafted myself a boat. But I think the boat was not made for little trees like me because I was in a very weird position. But nevertheless, I decided to swim into the ocean and find something that would make me stronger. And going into some type of river in the forest, I saw some weird building on the horizon. I parked up my boat and decided to check it out a little bit closer. I came across a ruined nether portal which had a sword and some pants in the chest. Coming closer to the fortress, I saw invisible skeletons in enchanted armor. I decided to explore the nearby village a little bit better because I did not have enough loot to go and battle the skeletons on 2 hearts. I took one of the beds and found 2 iron ingots in a chest. I then slow fall to the next building and got an idea to get myself some better loot. Some of the buildings had iron ore inside of the walls. I crafted myself a wooden pickaxe and decided to get some stone. I then got a stone pickaxe and got the iron ore from the wall. Luckily, I also had a blast furnace nearby. The iron ingot was done and I got myself an iron pickaxe. As it was nighttime, I decided to find myself someplace to sleep, but there was a villager already in the bed. I got more iron ore from the walls of the house and decided to dig out a cave to spend the night in. But then I saw a zombie approach me. I only had 2 hearts, so it was a very difficult battle. Luckily, I just managed to get him with my final blow, but I had 1 heart left. I was a one-shot, so I definitely needed to get some shelter quick. Running around the other zombies, I quickly barricaded myself inside of the cave. And I spent the night just mining down. That is until I found a mine shaft opening. Luckily, as a little tree, I just could float down easily and there was iron ore already beside me. I saw a zombie on fire in the cave, and although he was on fire and low on health, it was like watching death itself because I still had 1 heart. I then also got some coal. I crafted a furnace to place the iron ore and smelt it and then went further into the cave. And it didn't take me long enough to find my first batch of diamonds. I picked up a weird mushroom and continued on exploring, finding even more good stuff. And coming back to my makeshift base, the iron ore has been smelted. It was time to gear myself up with beautiful armor. Although it was invisible. On the next day, it was finally time I could tackle this building. I got good armor and good weapons. It was finally time I could tackle the big dungeon. With a diamond sword and a shield in hand, I made my way into the entrance, but for some reason I did not see any skeletons. And inside the first chest there was a lot of gold and obsidian, which would come in handy. The second chest had even more gold and iron armor. I made my way up the ladder, hoping to see some skeletons. but all I found was more chests. I also found some type of dungeon explorer map and I decided to follow it. For some reason this dungeon did not have any mobs. Before my tree leaves touched the water, I planted a boat and was on my way. And after a while I parked my boat, picked it up and also got some bento for the road. And running through the desert, I found another broken nether portal. I don't know if they're called broken or ruined, but yeah, I found a chest and inside it was a golden apple, which was actually very useful because I could eat it and gain 2 more hearts. That would be a lot better because in total I would double my health. I also noticed a very large pile of bones. I'm not sure if that was a dragon or whoever it was, and I decided to get as much as I could for the farm, for the future tree sanctuary I was planning to build. Yep, they were just very useful for a tree sapling like me. There was also a zeppelin in the sky and it had a ladder going all the way down. Although it didn't reach the ground, I know that I could glide. So I decided to do a gamer move and build up myself to gain a little bit more height and then glide to the ladder. Hard to reach places like these always had a lot of good loot in the chests. I jumped off the tall ledge and hoped that I could reach the ladder. We were gaining some altitude with these ladders, but it never stopped me because in the end, I could get a few good pieces of loot in the chests. As I was walking around, it was total darkness, but then a creeper came out of nowhere and he completely scared me. I had 2 hearts and a shield. Luckily, my shield helped me survive, but I knew that this place was dangerous and I had to keep a close lookout. I get dropped to half a heart in this moment and I'm very scared for my life, but there's one more skeleton already running at me. I use some gamer tactics to get rid of him and then get to the spawner location and break it to stop them from spawning any more skeletons. The first chest doesn't have good loot. I explored the zeppelin a little bit further and break more spawners. And then I finally get lucky because the first chest has a mana steel ingot and some other good stuff like a golden apple and emeralds. I break a wall to get onto a ledge and then decide to make my base here for the night because it is nighttime and I don't want to go down there because there are a lot of mobs and they can kill me or stuff like that. I have 2 hearts. I'm just a little tree sapling. Just let me be up here in the air where it's safe. And in the morning when I break my bed, it just flies away. And yep, I don't find it, I don't see it ever again. As I jump off the zeppelin, I admire the sun and also hope that the slow fall ability doesn't just end and I fall to my death. There is also some weird desert house and I decide to go in and check it out if it has any good loot. On the top floor there is a villager named Christine. I don't know if he's a seller, explorer or any of that stuff, but he doesn't have anything good to trade. I check his chest, check his barrels, and then make my way out of the house. I took out my shovel and decided to dig, because this place would become my base. It was time to finally settle down. This cozy area was bound to be my base, so I decided to quickly just put some furniture up and make it a little bit more homely. Just a few furnaces and also a bed, because the trees, yep, the trees use beds, they don't sleep on dirt or anything. I like a nice cozy bed. I had a few lanterns and decided to get some redstone torches and make my base a little bit more, you know, modern, by placing these lanterns in the ground and connecting them with the redstone torches. An anvil and a crafting table, because what base cannot have these 2 things? As it was nighttime, I decided to block off the entrance with cobblestone to stop the zombies from coming in, and also ate a golden apple to get a little bit more hearts for the nighttime as I'm sleeping, because if I get attacked while I'm asleep, that will be probably game over. On the next day, I found another temple. I fired my arrow at the invisible skeleton guardian and he was not happy because for some reason I got half a heart dropped down out of nowhere. I don't know how. Dropping down, I shot one more guardian with the bow. And that's one more hits the bucket. I also collect some bone blocks for the base. Equipping the shield, I see a few guardians on the bottom floor taking their shots at me, but I quickly just use my shield and block them and shoot right back. There's a few more guardians inside of the base. We have a fierce battle, but as you know, nobody can beat the diamond sword. The chest has golden ingots and apples, a perfect recipe for golden apples. I quickly craft some before heading back into the base because I need to get prepared for the big battles. But as I finish off another random guardian, a random scary ghoul just pops out of nowhere and I don't even know what to do with him. I then get some iron from another chest. As I make my way up the stairs, there are a ton of skeletons and they quickly swarm me. I quickly use my shield to block them off and run away because this is too much for me. As I am on half a heart, I decide to eat one of my 2 golden apples to get 4 hearts in total. But as you know, that was just a temporary retreat. If there is treasure, then I will not leave just because I got swarmed by a bunch of guards. And what do you know? There are diamonds inside of the chest. This was my lucky find. As I ate the golden enchanted apple, I got full health, full hearts. This was the first time I ever had so many hearts and I was feeling very safe. And that was a very lucky moment because in the next room I got attacked by 2 archers and they dropped my health to very low. And what I got from the chest was just an emerald, which was not needed, and also obsidian, which was kind of needed because I was planning to make another portal. Back at the base, my inventory was getting pretty cramped, so I decided to get a few chests around the base. I crafted myself diamond farming equipment and it was time to finally hit the dirt. What a beautiful day to start another task. So let's get to it. I start collecting dirt blocks to build over the water. The farm is always the most boring bit in building the base, but you always have to do it, so I will just skip along, speed it up as quickly as possible, so you would kind of see me doing it, but I would not dwell too much on it. The sun was already setting, but I decided to plow up the land. It was pretty time consuming, but it had to be done. There was also some kind of squid stuck right in the middle of the farm and he was choking, I think. And then he died, but I couldn't do anything to save him. I wanted to break the farm and kind of get him back into the water, but I did not manage to do that. And that would actually become a reoccurring theme. I don't know why these squids just love to die on my farm that much. And then it was time to get the seeds. The bread and butter for, the seeds. The seeds for the bread of the farm, yep. As the sun was already very low, it was time to hit the bed because I think I got enough seeds for tomorrow, so tomorrow would be the day we would start planting the actual farm. As I was planting the seeds, I got an idea. If I could use my bone blocks and turn them into bone meal and use them to get the wheat to grow faster, I could get the whole farming bit done a lot quicker. And there goes another squid. As I said, it was a recurring theme. Oh, 2 in a row. Okay. Can't really do much when they're, they're doing it themselves. I can't really break my farm. And it was time to use the bone meal and get the wheat growing faster. And I think I was saving a lot of progress as I was doing that because I did not have even enough seeds at first to cover the whole farm. So getting more seeds from the growing wheat when I collected it actually increased my farming output by a ton. I had just enough bone meal to cover the whole farm and then it was time to pick it up. All the grown wheat would drop me a ton of seeds and also wheat to actually get the bread. If I could find an elder guardian, I could also donate all the wheat to actually increase my farm because my tree farm increases from producing for the planet. So growing plants or growing trees, that's the best thing a tree can do to increase its strength. But before leaving the base, I planted all the seeds into the farm just so I would not waste any time as I'm away from the base. I then spent some time getting back to the place where I saw a large bone structure because I needed bone meal as I was already out from my first farming batch. I'm not gonna use my diamond pickaxe, just gonna use my iron one because these blocks, they break pretty easily and I really don't want to mess up my diamond pick because I still don't have that many diamonds. So yeah, just trying to save it where I can. And running through the forest, I accidentally find a hut with an elder guardian. But the funny thing is, when I just approach this house, I raided. I take all the stuff I can find and loot up the chests because I don't see the elder guardian. I don't know that it's his base still. But in the end, I have to put everything back and also donate all the wheat to actually get the farm. Okay, Elder Guardian, I will do just as you say. I will put the wheat in the chest, and then I think I should somehow level up. I should become a different tree. Let's see how that works. Oh, look at that! I'm growing. I'm increasing in height. I'm taller than the villager. Oh wow, and I have full health. Wow. Okay, this form is not the one I expected. I thought I'd be a big buff tree, but I'm just a skinny twig. What is this? And I have a smiley face? So the players will not see a big creepy smiling face in the tree just looking at them, huh? Okay, the big buff guy, he just told me to come back if I got more wheat or plants I can donate to him. But I'm such an ugly tree. Can I still fit in with other trees? Oh yeah, I can. Okay, I will not have any problems with that. But I'm a lot bigger now. It was already nighttime when I got back to the base, and I could barely fit into the tunnel or even into the base itself, so I think I will have to do some expanding inside of here. I started breaking a wall to fit in the nether portal inside of the base. My plan was to get glowstone, blaze rods, and also the nether has a lot of gold, and I needed these golden apples to replenish my health more easily because I'm a tree and I don't have a lot of health. I decided to make the nether portal a little bit of a different shape, and that did not work out. But then I got it quickly fixed, and you can't really blame me. I saw on the internet all these people making very cool portals, and I thought of making something special myself, and it just did not work out. I'll do it better next time. But it was time. I got my shield, I got my diamond sword. This tree was ready to tackle the nether. I appeared inside of a crimson forest, and right off the bat I nearly looked at an enderman into his eyes. And yeah, I don't know why an enderman is in the nether. That's weird, but yeah, it was a difficult start. I broke a lot of netherrack and also found some gold. This was probably the main thing I was in the nether for. Easy gold means easy gold apples, and I need them to get stronger. And back in the Crimson Forest, I found a pyramid trap, something like that. And I don't know what they're officially called. I just call them spooky houses, because they always have a little trap for the player with arrows shooting at them. I climbed to the ceiling of the nether, hoping I won't fall, and got some glowstone, because we need that for the base. Oh, I also think I spoke a little bit too soon, because I did fall, and half a heart. That was everything that was left. That's because I thought I was still the little tree that could float. So I did that intentionally, thinking I would float, but no, I'm a big tree. I'm a big tree. I nearly died. And then I finally found some skeletons and also a blaze spawner. The temple the blazes spawned in, it was like going underground. That was very weird. I've never seen that ever in my Minecraft career. So yeah, that was something interesting. But I quickly just collected a ton of blazes and made my way back to the base. But not before spotting a nice stack of bone blocks that I will use in the farm and on the tree sanctuary I was planning to build. And back at home, I made a little room for an enchanting table, placed a lot of books and the enchanting table itself, and it was time to finally get my gear transformed into more powerful items, and also make myself a little bit more powerful too. I also used all the gold I found in the nether and got myself a lot of golden apples. And then it was finally time to enchant the gear, and it was beautiful. I had to craft more diamond armor because I was still wearing some iron pieces. All my gear was now leveled up, I was a lot more powerful. Fear me, the almighty tree. The nighttime fell upon us, and I also decided to place the beacon or the light lantern, whatever you want to call it, on the top of our base, because it would be the beacon that would shine our way back home. Because I'm a tree, I could just stand here all night and look out for my base, and nobody even would actually notice that I'm out here looking out for my base, because I'm just a tree. I fit in so well. But speaking about players, I think it's actually time to hunt. On the next day, I was paddling, just minding my own business, when a whale just popped out of nowhere, and it was beautiful. It was so big, I don't even know how it fits inside of this little water area. But then there it was, I saw my target, I saw a real player. He was fishing, I think. I think I landed a little bit too close to him because he got curious where this boat came from. He also stole it, and because I was a tree, I could not move. I was just in my camouflage mode. Yep, just staring out into the open sea. Nothing to see here, just a tree. It was amazing how he did not see me. For him, I was just a usual tree, nothing even interesting. But I was a player, and he did not know that. He took my boat and it was time for revenge, so I just followed him, hoping he would lead me to his base. I was trying to be very careful by just being a tree, and luckily he did lead me to his base, and it was beautiful. He had so much stuff and it was open. It was all open. It's like he did not even think that there were other players in this world. So I was just a tree right in front of his base ready to troll him, and he did not even see me. Look at that, he just ran past me. He doesn't see me. That's crazy. Oh no, why is he going inside of his house? Oh no, what is he gonna... Oh, he got an axe! Oh no, he's chopping down the trees! Will he... Oh, is he gonna attack me? Oh, please don't attack me. When it was clear, I made a run for it because that place was dangerous. He was chopping down my friends, so I had to get revenge. When the coast was clear, I tried sneaking into his base, but all his barrels and chests were kind of empty. When I was on the second floor, I saw him going back to his base, so I quickly had to hide. So I jumped off the building and decided to stand as a tree again. Unfortunately, as I was standing, he decided to plant little tree saplings around everywhere, and he then used bone meal to grow them. I don't know how new this player was because he was using bone meal right in front of me on a tree sapling, and it did not grow because I was blocking it. That was an intense moment. I was playing with fire because when I was getting to the second floor, he nearly caught me, but I managed to hide behind the rooftop. And while I was on the rooftop, the guy got into a chest and he was doing something with the chest. I don't know what, but he was looking up, so I couldn't really move from this spot. I thought I would get caught if I did. And when he was not looking, I decided it was my time and I quickly switched positions. Jumping on a wall beside him, I placed an anvil above his head to kind of troll him, and then out of nowhere a spider also attacked him, so I think I was safe enough. So yeah, I was nearly caught, but luckily the spider saved me this time. And then he ran away. He did not see me on the rooftop, just a random tree, and he ran away. He got on a boat and crossed the river into some other house, and I thought this was my chance to actually see what kind of loot the guy had in the chests. And jumping down and opening the chest, I saw diamonds and diamond boots. This was nothing too spectacular, but you know what? For a little bit of trolling and just a little bit of raiding, this was a good enough haul, and I decided that it was enough and I needed to leave. But then for some reason, the guy stopped right in front of me on his boat, and I don't know why. I really don't know why. Luckily, he did not see me because I was a tree, but that was a very close moment, and I nearly got caught. The guy took a quick look at the haunted house and just went straight in. He was super brave, not like me, and I got an idea. And that idea was to steal the boat back. This was my boat if you remember it. He stole it from me, so me taking it back was not technically stealing, but just taking back what was mine. And also I got some diamonds from him as compensation. I just wished the guy some luck in the haunted mansion and went back to my base. And on the next day, I decided to collect some wheat from the garden, but walking back to the base, I saw someone hitting the trees in the field. I quickly stopped moving so he would not see me. I just camouflaged myself in the terrain, but there was a big bird that could not leave my sight. I don't know what it was looking for, but it was really messing up my camouflage. The bird could not leave me alone, and that made the guy come back, and he actually started hitting the bird. I don't know how he did not see me, but it was crazy. I just didn't move. I did not move, and the bird just went away in flames, and he started killing everything. And then he walked past me and went to my base. I know that I didn't make it hidden, and the entrance was very lit up with torches and lanterns and stuff, but I could not let him just go into my base, so I decided to follow him. He went inside my base and I didn't know if I should follow him. But coming down the stairs, I saw he had diamonds in his hand. Those were my diamonds. I quickly went outside and decided to camouflage myself again and wait for a secret attack. As he went outside of my base, he did not see me. He just saw a random tree, so the camouflage was working good. So I decided to heal myself up by eating golden apples, equipping a shield, and getting ready to attack him. He would not leave this base with my diamonds unharmed. I followed him into the desert, and I knew that my camouflage would not work as good as it did before, so I had to be quick. At first he did not know what was happening and who was hitting him. It was just a random tree. He probably didn't even know that I could move and I was a player. And then the attack happened. He somehow put me on fire, and I don't know, he probably thought because I was a tree that was my weakness, but he was wrong. I ate golden apples to replenish my health and then continued on the battle. I got some distance and started shooting him with the bow, but he hid behind the cactus. This guy was smart, but not too smart because I did hit him a few times. My health was starting to get pretty low, so I decided to go all out and finally hit him with the final blow, and his ragdoll buddy just went on the ground and he dropped all his loot on the ground as well. I saw the flaming axe on the ground he used to get me on fire and decided to take it for myself. I also picked up his armor to try it on, but I think it was worse than mine because mine was diamond and enchanted. It was already nighttime when I got back to the base, but I decided to check out my loot and I got a molten hammer that does AoE fire damage. It was very cool loot. I don't know where that guy got it from, but it was now mine and I decided to keep it for the future battles. On the next day, running through the desert, I saw a pirate ship. I don't know what it was for, but it looked dangerous. There was also some kind of tunnel in the cave, and I don't know what it was for, but there was a giant flying tarantula hog bug, and I decided to test out my hammer, and it worked perfectly, although it didn't kill the bug from first hit. I then found a hidden entrance to the tunnel, and looking around I saw giant walking trees. They were just like me, but a bit more buff, and I didn't know if this was my hidden home or something like that, but I decided to explore it to find out more. Deeper in the tunnels there were villagers with beds and chests, each one having some food inside. This was some type of bunker. Some of the tunnels were flooded. This place was not in good condition. But nearing the end of some type of tunnel, I saw an elder guardian, and he was damaged. He had only half of his health, and I don't know what happened, but I decided to give him some golden apples and also talk to him. I understood the mission was to clear the pirate ship and made my way there. But first I had to ring the bell for good luck. I somehow got stuck in the cobweb in the tunnel, and destroying it destroyed half of the tunnel and made it collapse. I don't know how it happened, but I hope that no guardians saw me do that, and I just quickly ran away. And there it was, the pirate ship. It had a lot of pillagers on it, and I had to equip my shield and eat a golden apple to get ready. The boat had so many pillagers that I decided to use a bow to disassemble them from a distance before boarding the ship. And then I started looking for a way in. I built up from under the water. It was showtime. I finally boarded the ship, and yep, it was not a difficult fight. There were a lot of pillagers, but they didn't really shoot me because I had a shield on me. And while battling those guards, I felt very secure because of my diamond armor. I was really happy that I spent some time getting it before this battle. But then I saw the undead captain, and I think he was bugged because he could not go down to me. I think the staircase was a little bit too narrow. But then an absolute horde of vindicators came out from under the ship. I quickly jumped into the water to avoid getting absolutely demolished by them. And then I built myself up to have the final battle with the undead captain. After destroying the Vindicator spawners, I ate a golden apple to replenish my health, and now I was ready. I ran up to the captain's platform and used my molten hammer to put him on fire. The molten hammer was the strongest weapon I had, so I had to use it smartly. It was definitely a difficult attack, so I had to just kind of exploit his pathway a little bit, because he couldn't use the staircase that good. I used it to heal myself up and then jump right into the battle. I also had to shield myself from his attacks to be safe and not get one shot because he was really strong. I flanked the undead captain from the side and used the Molten Hammer's AoE ability to completely dominate him, defeating him with the final blow. It was already nighttime, but I still had one more idea I had to do with the ship. I started placing a lot of TNT around the boat. I jumped off the boat and got to the shore. I had dynamite in my hand and I was planning to throw them into the boat and make everything just explode into smithereens. But unfortunately, as you could have seen, these diamonds, they don't fly very far. And even when I got closer to the boat and threw one, it still didn't do nothing. So I had to change the plan. I got back on the boat and used the flint and steel to quickly ignite the TNT. And then I went back to the shore and saw this ship explode into little bits and pieces. This was definitely a mission successfully complete. Now it was time to head back to the base. It was still nighttime when I got back to the base and there were a lot of zombies around it. So I decided to use my Molten Hammer and get rid of a few of them before going back to bed. I crafted a few tools before bed to help me with tomorrow's task, and tomorrow I would have to go out and get some tree saplings because I was making a very large tree farm. I quickly enchanted the pickaxe because I would be using it to get a lot of cobblestone, and the cobblestone would be used for very big walls around the whole perimeter of the base. The plan was to transform this whole area into a tree sanctuary where trees could grow and prosper. I picked out a good place to start building the wall and used my cobblestone, which I collected from mining. The task would be grueling and the walls would have to be large to keep away any of the predators that would want to cut down my trees. Maybe people like lumberjacks or any people like that. Feel like I'm making a place for a future Eren Yeager with these walls. My plan was slowly coming to fruition as I got one of the walls nearly complete. My plan was to get a very large forest growing inside of these walls and it was slowly coming to fruition. But wow, I did not expect I would need this much cobblestone for the wall. But as you can see, it's been a few days, it's been a few mineshaft trips, if you know what I'm saying. And a few mine picks have been definitely lost, but we are on this side and check that out. That is a very big wall, and it will keep all the trees safe from the lumberjacks. Check this out, a random zombie pigman just spawned in out of nowhere. I know that I have a nether portal inside of the base, but I did not know that they could travel so much away from the nether portal. This is outside of the mountain. It's not inside my base, it's not inside my little hut. So yeah, and also here is the progress. It's going along splendidly, I think. Got the wall finished. Time to finally plant the trees. Quickly grabbing the bone meal from one of the chests. Yeah, this is all the bone meal I have left, so I will have to get a little bit more. But that is for later, because right now it's time to actually get the farm going. And not the wheat farm, no, nothing of that sort. An actual tree farm, a tree sanctuary. After testing that normal trees, they don't grow larger with bone meal, I decided to go into the jungle and find some jungle trees. Luckily, it took me just a few days, not that much time, and I was in the jungle and I also found a pyramid, which was pretty interesting. Again, some booby traps and pretty much nothing in the chest. But the size of the trees, they are big. And also, if these trees are big, that means they drop a lot of saplings, and saplings, they do drop. This one was a little bit too big for the mod to actually destroy in one chunk, but a little bit handiwork, and it still got down. So yeah, I was actually lagging. My PC was lagging. It's not that bad, and yeah, it was difficult. But here we are back at the base. It's nighttime, and it's time to hit the sag. In the morning, I will get the farm with the trees going on. The sanctuary will finally be complete. And believe it or not, I actually forgot how to grow very large jungle trees. So I actually placed one sapling, used bone meal, and I wondered why it did not grow further. And then it took me a little bit to remember that you have to actually use 4 saplings stacked together to create a big jungle tree. And then it worked. It worked like magic and it was huge, and this whole area would be filled with them in a few days. And here is a little montage of me just getting all these trees grown. And I had a lot of bone meal, but not enough bone meal actually to get the whole place covered as much as I wanted. But, you know, it got the job done. Not that good, but yeah, I'd like to get a little bit more progress done, but I think I need more bone meal, and I just don't have it. I don't have enough bone meal, but here it is. Here is what I can do. The city skyline was transforming, and by city I mean the tree sanctuary, and it was transforming in a good way, not polluting big large buildings, no. It was being transformed by these green luscious trees. And finishing off with my last tree, I ran out of bone meal, or at least it was not enough to get all the trees fully grown. So I used all the rest of the saplings I had left around just randomly, hoping they will grow at some point. But I'm sure these elephants, they are not complaining. These trees are beautiful and they made their life a lot easier from the predators. You may question this interior design, but I call this the Luscious Cave. And we got a lot of birch wood and also glowstones from the nether. This is kind of a new area in my base, and I don't know what to do with it, so I think I just placed a bed, and that's about it. It looks good. It's a nice little cozy place for a bed, and you gotta expand the base, at least somehow, just a little bit, and I think this is a good way to do that. And tomorrow was also a big day. Look at the skyline. I did so much work to save the trees, save the planet, and I think I could return to the Elder Guardian right now and ask him to transform me into my final form, the buff form. And then I could take the lumberjacks head on. I ate an apple just as good luck because we are trees, we grow apples, and I'm a tree, so yeah, it's like a good luck thing. You won't get it, you're just a survivor. Oh yeah, and this monstrosity of a door, it's not to confuse me, it's to confuse any lumberjacks from getting in. Only a secret, authorized personnel will know the password and how this door works. Time to head out. Ah, I'm growing, look at that. I'm growing, I'm becoming buff. Oh yeah, it was time to show those lumberjack fools what the trees can do. Tree team. Whoa, that is a huge base. I think they got that all from cutting down trees. That's a lucrative business. I gotta do that. But no. I'm only kidding. I'm here to destroy you all. I am the Elder Guardian Tree, the protector. Fear my wrath. Okay, time to jump in. It's gonna be sweaty, but I think I can manage it. Oh no, I'm inside and there's nobody here. Oh no, we got spawners. Okay, let's get them. Get rid of these spawners. These skeletons are pretty strong, so I think I gotta be careful around them. Oh, these guys throw fireworks at me. Okay, I gotta be careful. They do a ton of damage. And with these wither skeletons, I gotta eat my golden apples like it's a fast food kids meal or something. Look at this. I have 2 hearts. I was nearly dead. That was nearly GG. Game over. But luckily I ate it, so I'm safe now. But yeah, these guys are very strong. Getting rid of these spawners is key, and also these chests, they have pretty good loot. I also got rid of the other spawners. And going up the 2nd floor, I think the higher you go, the more difficult it becomes because there were more spawners, more mobs, and they also hit for a lot more health. So it was a battle uphill, quite literally. So yeah, I had to be very careful. Look at these fireworks, it's like a Chinese New Year. Getting rid of these spawners is difficult when you got all these dudes just shooting at you, throwing stuff at you. You gotta be very careful. Oh, look at that, they're fighting between each other. Oh, whoa, these guys are very strong. That pillager, he just one-shot that wither skeleton. Okay, we gotta be careful. I think this is the end. This is the top. I mean, this chest, it has good loot, like diamonds and stuff. Oh, I think so. We did it. Yeah, we did it. That's... Oh, gold. Let's go. As you can see, I have a little bit... a few cracks on my armor, on my oak armor. A few cracks. That means I've been in battle. But nothing a good golden apple cannot fix. A blizzard came out of nowhere and I had to do you know, the jump. The dream jump, where you just place a water bucket and yeah, you just jump and you hope for the best. And I don't know if I should have did that near the end of the video, but I did. So there you go, and I did it successfully. So yay, I did not die. It was time to head back to the base. And here's the first problem that I came across. I'm too big. I'm too big for this door. I'm a big tree now, and yeah, so I think we gotta do some renovations. I break off this wall, jump over it, but there is one more thing. Also, my base is a little nest inside of the cave, and I cannot really fit into the nest. So I think we're gonna have to make a very large base. And you know what that means? That means that there's gonna be a lot more mining for cobblestone, because I'm not gonna use wood for the base. Hey, I'm not gonna use wood. I'm a wooden man, look at me. But we did it. We reached day 100. It was a blast playing as a tree. I'm a very new channel. My name is Kokoro. Subscribe down below if you have not yet. It's been very enjoyable recording as a tree. So if you enjoyed it, I enjoyed it. That's all that matters. Let's go. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for the support.
Yeah. Why you calling at 11:30 when you only wanna do me dirty? But I hit right back 'cause you got that, yeah. Why you always wanna act like lovers, but you never wanna be each other's? I say don't look